I think for the community to have a place like this where they can come and really be taken by just the wonder of Tweet's collections, the stories that are associated with Tweet's life here, and the stories that have come after Tweet's death here, because we continue to evolve as an organization. It really is a crown jewel in every sense of the word.
A woman for all seasons, Tweet Kimball was far ahead of her time. Raised as a Southern belle, Tweet switched from ball gowns to blue jeans with ease. Mildred Montague Genevieve Kimball, nicknamed Tweet by her father, was born in Chattanooga, Tennessee in 1914.
She was formally educated at Bryn Mawr College. She got an art history degree.
She married diplomat Merritt Ruddock, and the couple adopted 2 sons.
So they lived in England for 7 years, immediately following the Second World War. And it gave her exposure to a lot of members of the royal family.
Their marriage fell apart, and Tweet headed west. In 1954, she came upon the Scottish-style Charlford Castle and adjacent Blunt Ranch.
She wanted to bring some of that history from Tennessee here to Colorado, and named this ranch Cherokee Ranch, and a lot of the buildings and pastures are named for indigenous language within the Cherokee Nation. She had a goal then, that she wanted to have a cattle ranch, and she wanted Santa Gertrudis cattle.
I remember that her saying, when she saw them, that was just a beautiful sheet of red meat.
She went right to the King Ranch, and they wouldn't sell them to her. They said that they were developed for the South Texas climate. So she was able to determine 5 or 6 ranches in Texas that the King Ranch had sold cattle to.
She wasn't trying to buck the system. She wasn't trying to go against the other ranchers who were all Angus ranchers. She just wanted what she wanted, and she loved those animals.
She would never discuss price down at the ranch. She would always show the cattle, help them understand the genetics, but the business was always discussed here in the castle, and have them experience some of the magic and the hospitality and the culture that she was developing here that would make the cattle much more compelling.
She wanted us to just be the best. She wanted a world-class education center here. It's the contents of the castle, the art, and the artifacts. It's the historic buildings.
She had strong ideas with respect to how she thought things ought to be run and how they ought to look, and I think when you run a ranch like this, somebody's got to be the boss.
She was doing so many things simultaneously. I mean, she'd be on the education board, she'd be on the water board, but she was also on the opera board. She was also on the board at the Denver Art Museum while she was raising 2 children by herself. That takes guts, and it takes a lot of grit.
Tweet heard that Princess Anne was going to be traveling in the United States. So in 1982, Princess Anne came here, and Tweet held a beautiful lunch for Princess Anne and a number of guests. She was here 45 years, earning her living, supporting the ranch and the castle and all the things she did with the cattle operation for 45 years. And then she went on to export these cattle to Australia, to Vietnam, to South Africa, and all throughout the United States.
In 1996, she created the Cherokee Ranch and Castle Foundation to ensure her home would remain a gathering place and a center for preservation for generations to come.
I think people forget a little bit of how big the gift is. What she did is huge.
Tweet's legacy lives on through her foundation's programming that touches nearly 20,000 lives every year.